You're bitter, you're exhausted. It's 3 a.m. and you're staring at the ceiling. But why? You have a good life, people who love you, work that matters, and yet you're running on empty. Maybe the answer isn't to try harder. Maybe the answer is a 2-letter word. Why is that so hard? Stay tuned because Farmer Dave has a theory.
Hi, Dr. Dave here, the GardenShrink. I'm an old psychologist with fresh insights into how growth actually works in the garden and in life. Join me on a journey to increase the harvest out there and in our personal and professional lives. Whether you're just thinking about gardening, an old hand, or simply someone interested in psychological advice minus the copay, I've got something for you. So come on, let's grow something real together.
You're being smothered like a sausage and gravy biscuit. Not by life, not by other people, but by your own yes. Now, I don't know much about psychology, but I do know a thing or two about how things grow. And while saying yes is mighty neighborly, putting up a fence is sometimes even kinder. This sound familiar? Hey, can you do me a favor? Absolutely. Can you work late this weekend? Of course. Can you lend me a little money? I've got your back. 10 grand. See what I mean? At some point that yes finally runs into a boundary. The problem is most folks don't notice where that line is until they're through the panhandle, almost to New Orleans, and that gauge on the dash says E. Now you might be sitting there thinking, what's gardening have to do with boundaries? Just everything. Out there, everything's wanting. Wanting space, wanting to grow, wanting to be fed. Including the rabbits under my porch, the squirrels in my attic, and little Bambi in the woods. So sooner or later, you gotta decide who gets fed and who doesn't. You know that saying, fences make good neighbors? They also make good salsa, because if you don't have one, the varmints are getting a buffet, and you're buying salsa from aisle 7. Now it ain't just about protection, it's about getting a good return, a good harvest. Gardeners plant things in rows not because they're pretty, but because plants need room to flourish. And we need room to tend them. Sunlight, nutrients, access. Too crowded and things get smothered, just like with all those yeses. And another thing, too much of a good thing ain't always that good. You do know you can kill a plant by loving it too much, right? Right. Again, I'm no therapist, but from what I've seen, way too many folks, good folks, err on the side of overplanting, trying to be all things to all people. I've learned it can't be done. You got to decide not just what you can plant, but what you can tend, what you can maintain and eventually harvest. Now, friends, let me say this plainly. If you don't protect your time, somebody else will spend it. If you don't decide what gets in, everything does. And eventually you'll wonder why you ran out of gas before you got to Bourbon Street. And if you want the psychologist version of all this, Dr. Dave's got a whole series on boundaries. You can find it right over yonder. Might be worth thinking about when you're growing tomatoes or taking a road trip. See you later, friends.